Record. So welcome everyone to our favorite day of the week, and that is Friday, because it's Fierce Friday. So on today's call, we are going to be talking to our amazing Crown leaders in our company with our mission. But before that, we need to talk about what's been happening in the news. And to start, we need to start with our pledge. So I'm going to pass it to Carmela to read our beloved pledge.
Thanks so much, Taz. Happy Friday, everyone. I'm so excited for this call to have our special guests here. And we bring community together to set intention every single week with our Million Mom Movement community. So I invite you to come on to our website here. Sorry. Can you see my screen? Okay, here we go. Taz, do you see my screen?
Yes, we see it.
Okay, great. So here's our pledge. And if you've never heard it before, read it along because you'll see the vibration it brings when you actually speak the words. Because this is what our community stands for when we say it's a pledge. Because when you say, yes, I'm a part of a community, well, what are we all about? So I pledge to defend the health of myself and my family. I pledge to choose organic foods that are minimally processed and free of man-made ingredients. I pledge to read labels and to educate myself on all aspects of clean living. I understand that my actions today will positively impact the health and the environment of future generations. I am committed to sharing this movement of many. I am the Million Mom Movement. So you can download this, as you can see here. And you can also find it, where am I? You can also find it on our app. So if you are a partner, you can easily share it. I have it printed and framed in my dining room so that when guests come and I host parties, I share with people that man-made ingredients are not okay. And what is it? It's an assault to our system. And so you can explain that and understand really what we're all about. So it's an organic, whole food, superfood, plant-based lifestyle. And that's what we're all about. So I'll pass the mic to you.
Thank you so much, Carmela. That was beautifully read. So, I love this pledge. Do you print out, like how you said, and you put it on your fridge, and I love introducing it to the kids' schools. You go to the guidance council, you go to all of these places, and you print it out and you share it with them. Because when the kids come in and they see it, they start asking questions. And this starts a conversation. And what's happening in our food right now is a disgrace. They are poisoning us on all levels on something that we're eating 3 to 5 times a day, and it's happening to our kids. So it's up to us to speak out and to be loud about it because we need to take responsibility for it, right? And we have a new segment called In the News, okay? That we talk about what's been happening during the week, something that's been, that affects us. So we have something that Naiva is going to be sharing that was brought to our attention this week. I pass to you, Naiva.
Thank you, Taz. Hey, everyone. Okay, I'm going to continue with my screen share here. So this, I don't know how many of you have seen this article that the Defender put out this last week, but it's very concerning. Biden admin refuses to phase out toxic pesticides on national wildlife refuges. This is killing all kinds of endangered species. It's hurting our environment, our plants, our wildlife. So let's scroll down a little bit. So the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service Tuesday denied requests by the conservationist and members of Congress to phase out the use of agricultural pesticides on national wildlife refuges. The USFWS decision was issued in response to a legal petition filed earlier this year by the Center for Biological Diversity and Center for Food Safety, calling for the agency to end the use of wildlife killing poisons on the refuges, many of which were established specifically as havens for endangered species. So I'm going to scroll down a little ways. So down here you can see, as the Congress lawmakers wrote in their letter, there are 3 billion fewer breeding birds in North America than there were in 1970. This is an unprecedented loss and encompasses a 53% reduction in grassland birds and 32% decline in aerial insectivores and 17% decline in forest birds. Many of these species rely on refuges for migratory haven and breeding grounds, risking the survival on these very lands created to shelter them is counterintuitive to the National Wildlife Refuge System's purpose. So furthermore, scrolling down a little bit more, the lawmakers also noted the Environmental Protection Agency has recently determined that some of the most commonly used agricultural chemicals are likely to harm endangered species. As an example, they cited glyphosate, a pesticide that the EPA recently found to be likely to adversely affect 93% of all endangered plants and animals. This is huge, you guys. Glyphosate is one of the most widely used agricultural pesticides in National Wildlife Refuge System, according to the analysis of refuge records conducted by the Center for Biological Diversity. So this glyphosate is not only in our food, it's being sprayed around our wildlife, it's killing our birds and our endangered species, as well as so much of our ecosystem. So this is something that we want you to, read it, share it, do your own take on it and share it on social media. And, we don't know what we don't know. So it's important that we do share what we've learned. And this is a huge issue in our environment, for our animals, for our wildlife, and for so much of our endangered species, as well as our other environment. So back to you, Taz. That's in the news for now. And I'll go ahead and drop the link in the comments.
Thank you so much, Naeva. And you know what? I love that you said you don't know what you don't know, because that's what it's all about. It's killing our environment. It's killing our wildlife. It's killing us. It's killing our children. And it's everywhere. And today you can encounter so many people who would still tell you glyphosate is okay. There's not that much of glyphosate in that food. But you know what? We work with facts. We have the facts that glyphosate should not be in any of our food. It should not be in our environment. And it's up to us to state the facts and to show the facts, because we have all the facts that's killing everyone. And it shows up differently in every single person. Wildlife as well, it shows up differently. And this is a worldwide pandemic, and it's up to us to share what we know. So let's just get into our topic today. So you know what they say, to be a crown, you create a crown. So I have my incredible friends, business partners, Allison and Jared, on today's call. So they've recently ranked crown in our Purium business. If you ask me, they've been crowned for a while, but in Purium terms, they've recently ranked. And when I started off this business, they're one of the first people. Well, Allison is one of the first people that I reached out to. You know what? I started looking at things that I wasn't good at, and I saw her online, and she was incredible. The way she would show up with such vulnerability, so much heart. I'm like, this woman is incredible. She needs this in her life. You don't know what you don't know. And I needed to reach out to her. Did I know how to reach out? No. Did I know how to talk to people? No, but she needed this. And I saw she was a mama with kids. And I'm like, no, you have to get rid of all of these things. So that's when the reach out began. So this was what? Almost 4 years ago, Allison?
Yeah.
So
Hey,
welcome,
Taz, hey,
Allison,
everybody.
Jared.
Hi, thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
So why don't you start by telling us your story, where you were before Purium?
Yes. Well, yeah. So I was on a healing journey, as I think everyone who Purium finds is already. But we also don't know what we don't know. And so my healing journey consisted of, I was doing yoga. I was, definitely doing other modalities. I was plant-based. And I thought I was doing amazing, because when we started to see results from changing up our lifestyle to become more healthy, it showed, right? So I thought, well, even though I was still on medication and I still struggled with eczema, I was still struggling with mental health issues. I was doing a lot better than I had been. And so I was on a journey of healing before Purium came into my life, which was the missing piece to this healing puzzle.
Absolutely. And you know what? You're never alone in this journey. And I love to introduce Jared is partnered with you. So this is something you guys are building this together. So talk to me a little bit about that. Jared, when did you jump on board?
Well, when you first had that confrontation with Allison, I was working in the film industry. I was doing marketing, things like that. And I had a pretty decent job, it was very cozy. I had all sorts of benefits and stuff like that, but I was away from the house a lot. I was away from the kids and, coming home at 6 o'clock at night, having to rush to make dinner. And I could see Allison was taking a toll on her. So I was looking for something different. I knew that this opportunity was a departure from my comfort zone, but in that I saw that, okay, there's a risk, so there must be a benefit to it all. So we just kind of leaned in and I trusted Allison. I could see that the product had a profound healing effect on her. And I was just getting into it. So I was enjoying the Power Shake and the Biomedic, feeling the benefits, but it took a bit of time to really grasp what the opportunity was. So we had to just learn as we earned and just jumped into it fully.
I know a lot of women are on this call and they're thinking to themselves, well, how do I get my partner involved? How do I do that? So what's your advice to them who are listening to this right now?
Yeah, well, my decision was clear. So I think that's the first thing is we can only control ourselves. And my decision was I had already decided I'm doing this with or without. And I had the attitude, I'm going to do this with or without you, but it'll be a lot more fun with you. And he didn't jump on right away. And it was definitely a slow process, probably up until about a year and a half in was when, he really caught the vision. But I was asking for his support along the way. And I said, look, if you're not going to do this, at least allow me to explore this. And he did trust me enough to say kind of like, okay, I'm going to give you this space to explore this. And he caught the vision because I held it so clear, and it was just a matter of time before he just caught the vision himself and came in with me.
Yeah, trust is essential. I knew, I had a lot of hangups about MLM and things like that based on the stereotypes. And, I had to discover all the perks associated with this specific opportunity, how the products are so different from everything else available on the market. The business opportunity is really
I think it was when he
special.
learned about the sharing, the diamond profit sharing that he perked up. Yeah.
That's usually a great selling point to a lot of husbands. When they hear the profit sharing, they're like, what? This is what makes it different than normal MLMs. And now you're one of the most pioneer. If you guys don't know their handle, maybe put it in the link, guys, to check you out on Instagram, because you talk so much about debunking the myths of MLMs.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's fun. I mean, it's just it's needed. We're the new school of MLM, and we're breaking a lot of these stereotypes. And with this new, we're the first generation that has social media with network marketing, and a company that is so aligned with this generation right now that it's we're rewriting the whole mindset around it.
And for me, I think it was thinking of it rather than an expense, an investment. Some people might see the food and be like, this is expensive if I'm adding this to what I'm already doing. But no, you're investing in your future, you're investing in your health. And the business opportunity, same thing. You have to dedicate some time to it, some energy, but it's going to build over time. And there's not a lot going on unless you invest in the stock market or real estate or Bitcoin. There's all these different things that build over time, but this will always grow. Like there's no chance.
Well, health, we always say health is never going out of style. So people, people who said no to us at the very beginning, just by watching us over time consistently, they have just come around. And because, people have different reasons at different times that they're ready.
I love how you say that, it's people are following your growth and they're seeing. Did I lose you guys?
Yeah, we were back.
We're
Okay.
back. Sorry about that.
What was the last thing you heard?
They're watching our growth.
They're watching your growth. So when someone says no to you at that point in your life, it wasn't a no. It was a no, not right now. But then later they came around.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
What we do is we're farmers. We plant seeds, we water them, and the fruit will grow. We're not hunters. We're not salespeople. We both were terrible at sales. We didn't have any network marketing experience, no wellness experience, but we had these genuine product stories and we were sharing it with people who were having amazing benefits, having these incredible transformations. So it just spread, it just grew. And then that opened the door to us living the life and the lifestyle that we always wanted. We just had to go for it.
Okay, so talk to us a little bit about that, because I know a lot of people, they get hung up on this. They think to themselves, well, I don't have a business background. I don't know anything about marketing. I don't have this experience. So how am I possibly supposed to do this?
I mean, I'm going to say it honestly. It's messy action at the beginning for all of us, depending on, our various levels of experience that we've all had, or our various levels of healing and personal development that we've been through. But for myself, I started this on 5 medications. I started this, so deeply, still needing to heal. And I just healed out loud, and it was messy action. It didn't look the same way. Healing is not just this like clean and neat pathway. It was lots of ups and downs, and really the gratitude for the journey, because what we saw was if we get to be successful with our background, and we get to like show people the ups and downs, we could show other people that they can too. So we wanted to make this really accessible for everyone to be able to do.
And you know what? I don't know if you guys know this, but this actually helped me, because I was always thinking, I'm like, it needed to be perfect before you could move forward. And you were like, oh, it's okay. It's going to be messy, but we're still going to go forward. I'm like, okay, that was a level of vulnerability that really showed through all of your videos and everything and who you are. You really translated really well on social media.
Thank you. It wasn't easy. Jared didn't have any social media before we started this. I had under 300 followers. So for anyone who thinks that they already need to be like something, they don't. Like I was just like showing, kind of food pics and stuff before, but I was never the social media person. I never even took a selfie or did a live video before doing this.
Wow. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about Jared. Well, you just mentioned before that his background is in film. Okay, so I know all you guys watch their reels, watch their videos, and you're like, oh, how am I supposed to do that? Guys, we're not telling you to
try this at home.
He is a whole different level. So maybe talk to us a little bit about his background so everyone understands, so people are not feeling bad about themselves that they can't live up to Jared's reels.
Well, thank you so much for your kindness. I appreciate that. But it's a testament to that accessibility for anybody. When we first came in, we saw a certain type of people were successful. They leave clues, obviously, and we'll learn from them, but we have to make it our own. What we're sharing has to be genuine to our experience. And for me, I love storytelling. I love making videos. So it aligned with my passion, and it took some time.
I had to kind of push him. I was like, Jared, your gift is film. Like, let's apply it, because some people, they don't realize that they have gifts that can lend themselves to this. I know Alice, who's listening here, she's like an amazing show, she was a performer, really? And now it's like, use your voice, like we love to get people into their unique gifts. So that's I pushed out. I was like, Jared, you can do like this.
my number one fan here. But I think what you need is that support, the belief system, a community to kind of support you through that messy beginning, getting up on the bicycle. And that's where the Purium tribe and our kind human tribe is essential, because you don't find that in other careers. You know, like if you're an independent contractor, you're kind of on your own. Whereas here, you have all these personal development tools. And ultimately, all we really want to do is whatever you're passionate about. If you're an athlete, if you're a musician, if you're an artist, if you want to make a restaurant, like whatever you're driven to do, whatever your dream is, that's what we want to help you achieve. Mm-hmm. We don't want you just to be successful in network
or
marketing.
Just follow what Jared's doing in his reel. That's just Jared's expression, but we all have a unique ability to express differently.
Yeah.
I love how you say that. So using everyone's genius and bringing it into this business, it just enhances who you are.
Yeah, absolutely. And coming from someone like myself who had learning disabilities, I'm actually channeling my learning disabilities as a superpower, because I am someone who operates really well under like million tabs open and kind of this chaos, where I get to apply that way of working to this business where I wasn't able to do to like any other corporate kind of jobs or anything.
Yeah, there's so much alignment between the products themselves. Like if you just allow the superfood healing to take place, if you allow that kind of nourishment in the same way as if you let this opportunity, if you kind of lean into it and trust that it will happen, it just
you'll find your own
you're everyone's exceptional, and then this just elevates that, you know, with the food and with the opportunity. It's all about
stepping into your best version.
So let's talk a little bit about that. So I know you guys built this business, your business, on traveling. So let's talk about the first travel that really expanded your business on all levels.
Yeah, well, that was our first trip to Belize, right, which we wouldn't have been able to do had we not had this opportunity. We won a contest, which we would have never applied for, but to go live in a plant-based community for a month. And yeah, this was hugely transformative. It was a plant-based eco community, so it was all like-minded people. We came with our superfoods, of course. We weren't even thinking in terms of like sharing this with the community, but people saw our lifestyle. We shared it with, you know, Sarah Brando and other Alice and all these people who were there, Kevin, all these people who are probably on this call right now. And it was, you know, it just integrated so well into traveling, because it's, first of all, like, it's food that is so easy to travel with, and, you know, we get to maintain our health priorities. And we didn't realize that going into the jungle, how much that lifestyle was going to attract people to like want to know how we're doing this. And we just had, you know, this opportunity to just share. And this was, we actually just, I think it's also when you're traveling, you have your guard a little, like, you know, down, you're more easily talking to people that you wouldn't have talked to. And we were just, it just propelled us into a whole new level in our business.
Yeah, the first time we had, I was personally scared. You know, it was the first time we ever bought an open-ended ticket out of Canada. And, you know, for my entire life in all these different types of jobs, freelance or working contracts or full-time, like vacation was always this limited thing. It was always like you have 2 weeks, and, you know, by the time you get comfortable on your vacation, you already have to go home. And that was just my mindset. So I was stuck in like vacation mode, but here we are, we're going to live abroad. We're just going to try it out, see how it goes, and just go for it and live the life that people talk about. We're going for it. We're doing it. And that in turn attracted a lot of people where they're saying like, oh, if they could do that with 2 young kids, maybe I could do that too. That's what that.
They didn't even know that was possible. People don't even know that's even an option.
Very true. And you guys had horrible Wi-Fi. Okay. You can have so many excuses when you're away, when you're in the jungle, but you guys had no excuses. So you couldn't come on every call. It was difficult, but you made a great effort. And, you know, it was never a complaint. It was always like, yeah, I'm showing up. I'm going to be there.
Yeah, definitely. I remember we hit executive while we were there, and it was just so magical, you know, to see that we were actually making money while traveling.
Yeah, we were like, oh, cool, we got a bonus check. We could extend our trip another couple weeks. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So that kind of mental shift occurred for me while we're abroad. And, you know, Belize doesn't have a lot of organic produce available. So we had our foundation of nutrition there. We just needed good drinking water. And then we didn't have to worry about
And then
the
just like the
nutrition.
fruit trees around us. And
Yeah,
stuff.
fruit
Yeah,
trees.
we were good.
And this is before we went fully plastic free.
We were almost plastic free though. Yeah.
I think it's Power Shape was still in the tubs at that point.
I don't know. Yeah. We still had some. Yeah.
So yeah,
So
that was
you-
a few years ago.
You guys were organically having healthy happy hours when you were in the jungle.
Yes, exactly. Actually, on our YouTube, we have our first Healthy Happy Hour. That was the event that you'll see. I mean, it was just amazing because everyone who was there, when we just asked our community if we can do a presentation for them, and everyone was so, you know, open. And that was my first time doing a presentation in front of people. And I said, there's no pressure to have to buy anything, but if you just don't mind, can I just present this? This is a new business, and I'd love to practice. So, you know, that's how I actually introduced it to the whole community. And they were like, wow, reading the ingredients. It was just, everyone loved
when you
it.
talk about things like the dangers of glyphosate and the fact that we've all been ingesting this antibiotic for years, red flags go up for people. They realize like, wow, this is going on. What's the solution? And here we are with a provable solution to that.
So while this was happening, Jared, did you still have your day job? Did you have your job to come back to?
Well, I was phasing out, you know, I started full time and then I went part time. So, you know, during the pandemic, a lot of people were able to work from wherever, but they were still kind of stuck at home, whereas I was able to travel and work. But more and more, I just love the flexibility, the time freedom of working the Purium business more and more. And it eventually matched and then exceeded my paycheck. And now it's like more than both we've ever earned. So I was just like, no, I'm done answering to somebody else.
Now, if we want to do things out of passion, it's just, you know, no longer needing to do any work for anyone else.
Options. Nope. It's a door opener.
How amazing is that? That now you can finally live your dreams.
Yes. Absolutely. We're going to be coming to Florida this winter. So yeah, we love that we could actually really create a lifestyle that is, and we're building now, we get to dream again, you know, really big. We get to plan what's our dream home going to have. And, you know, we get to discuss as a family, manifest together, really all the things that we want.
And you know, a lot of people go on vacation and they think they're in a tropical place. They don't even think about bringing Purium there because they think all this abundant fruits and veggies that everyone's living so well. But you guys had this mindset and all you needed was water, right? I love how you introduced it to everyone.
As everywhere we go, we kind of see ourselves as like missionaries. We're like, just like spreading the word of organic. Oh, did we?
Oh, that minute froze.
Oh, did we freeze?
Sorry if we're frozen.
You're
Okay.
back. You're back.
Okay, good. Yeah, we see it. We see ourselves in a way like missionaries, like just kind of like sharing about, you know, educating people about glyphosate, about organic nutrition, and everywhere we go is an opportunity to meet new people. So we love to just, you know, travel and share this good word.
It's the best when you're busy and you're moving around and you're nomadic. That's when we see the most results. Even with our team, our leaders, they excel when they're in that flow state, you know, because they're not striving for perfection. They're just kind of living their best life, sharing it. And, you know, people are inspired by that.
And by the way, our kids are great connectors because our kids make friends everywhere we go. And we become friends with their parents, and my kids talk about everywhere we go. They talk about their green juice. They get their friends on, and that's actually been a huge part like of our business is our kids being really involved. They love learning about it, and our kids have really been able to excel in their passions as well, because we can dedicate time for them to, you know, really focus on their dreams. And
we're so grateful we had great role models and your kids, Taz, with Lucho and Kiara. We're just like so disciplined. They're into health, you know, and it's our kids are totally inspired by them.
But you see, this is a simple thing. What we're all about is that if we can change the next generation, they don't have to ever go through what we went through, right? The struggles, the health issues. We are sharing this with them, so now they can go on, and they have a whole new generation that they can impact.
Yeah,
I think that's like for me at the core, like when Allison started, because she's highly emotionally intelligent, Allison, you know, and it wasn't appreciated all through her life. It was almost seen as like a handicap, but now it's where she shines because she can help people do shadow work and kind of coach them through these dark times. And yeah, it's essential. Like we just want people to, you know, confront that darkness a little bit. It's not all sunshine and rainbows. MLM gets a bad reputation as like it's forced positivity.
It forces us to look in the mirror. Yeah. Definitely forces us to do that shadow work when we join. There's a lot that definitely, you know, and I just would really anyone who's considering joining the business, if you're here as a guest or if you're already a partner, to just embrace the hard times. Like it is absolutely our teachers, and we couldn't have, you know, been where we are had we not gone through so many levels of, you know, rejection and, you know, kind of all the obstacles that come in our way. So it's just part of the course, and for everyone to just, you know, just know that we've been through all the hard times together.
And if I could just speak to something you said earlier, Taz, I think like, but Allison speaking to a younger version of herself is so vital, because how much do you wish when you were growing up or when you're a teenager that someone was in your life who could tell you maybe dairy milk isn't a good idea, maybe cut down on those Cheerios, maybe, you know, there's so much influence we could yield now because we went through the healing ourselves. So that's really our mission, is just to speak to that next generation so they don't have to suffer like we did.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. I'm just like taking it in. Exactly. I love that. And, you know, I wanted to touch on something when you were talking about the hardship, right? People around you did not catch your vision. They didn't understand what you're talking about, because we encounter people every day who they say, the people around me, they just don't get me. They don't get me, and they don't understand how dairy could be causing harm to our body, right? As an example. So talk to us a little bit about the family around you.
Yeah, we both don't have family that understands our lifestyle choices. And, you know, it started with when we went plant-based, they thought we were crazy kind of then, but then it just it got crazier. But, you know, we got more sane, but of course to the world it's no measure of health if you're well adjusted to a profoundly sick society, right? So most of the people around us were very well adjusted to the norm, and we are standing apart in our families. But that's okay, because we have you guys. And so we tap into the community heavily because this is our family right here, really. I mean, and we love our family, but they're just not there yet. And so I stopped putting the expectation that they're going to understand this. It's still a struggle for me it's always a struggle when we have family and friends who are making choices that we know they should be doing better, or if they're calling us crazy for things that we know is the right thing, and especially when there's our children involved. You know, it is a very touchy subject, but, you know, we can only control ourselves and lead by example. And we're sticking by that the same way that it took me to get Jared, you know, on board, to be really perseverant, to really like tap into our inner lioness. Like this is what we're passionate about, and it's going to be only a matter of time before they understand. So just stay the course. If you don't have family around you and friends are hating on you, this is okay, because this community is a safe haven for us until our family and friends are ready.
You're very lucky if your family is on board right away. It was something new and out of their comfort zone. I almost gave up, but luckily we had people like Eric Mish, our mentor, who, you know, this family took years. I think even over a decade.
Oh yeah, it really
before they
inspired us when Eric brought his sister on, Melinda, and we were like, okay, there's hope. Yeah.
I love it. You know, we have so much support in this community. And, you know, and whoever you tap into, this is what makes the community stronger together, right?
Yep.
I love that. And there's something I want to talk about. Okay, so the family and today, right? I know Jared is very much involved. So what's his role with you guys together building the business?
Oh, I can share a little confession.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so Jared, at first, I was really, like, we all know our strengths and weaknesses, right? Like Jared said, I am strong with emotional intelligence, but when it came to the back office and understanding the numbers and what people needed for ranks, like that just didn't click for me. That kind of, you know, that was like, I had a bit of an aversion to things that look like spreadsheets. So I'm like, Jared, can you just learn that? Like that would help me so much if you could just understand this back office. And I love that I played to Jared's strengths. It's like, you love video games. Like, this is like, look at all these ranks. It's like, you have to hit this and how do we do that? Okay, like, let's like play it like a game.
Yeah.
And so that's how you started.
Yeah, definitely gamifying the rank investments and the bonuses and the promos and stuff like that. Making it fun for myself. That echoed out, you know, as our team grew, where people are like, oh, okay, it's you can make it fun. It's not just like business. And, you know, we're so lucky with this business that we don't have to deal with like accounting or, you know, shipping issues or all that stuff that normally a business entrepreneur gets hung up on. We don't have to deal with that. So I was like stoked on that. So like, let's just focus on the fun stuff. Like, let's just think of this as a game and we're just trying to hit targets, and, you know, there's boss levels and, you know, things to overcome and achievements. And that's it. I love the back office. I check multiple times a day because there's always something interesting. There's always goals there, miniature kind of targets you can hit.
It's a lot of fun. And then now Jared also, what is so great is, you know, we incorporate, like if I'm on a call, he comes in and shares his story. So it's like a built-in, you know, someone else that someone can meet that's been through this before. So that really helps our business. And, you know, it also provides the men and women experience so that people can get like a full, we can find someone to relate with easier. And he helps out with our team with so much. I mean, Jared is now we're so, it's like we've just become, because it's like a family business now, like our kids and our whole family, we're just like, when we're going for a rank, we're like all on board, like the whole family is in on it. We're just doing whatever it takes together.
You know, and what I love about this business, like everything you mentioned, Jared, all of the headaches that you would have starting a business is all taken care of. You don't have to worry about that, right? And tapping into the fun, and I love how you two really tap into the fun and make this business fun. And this is what it should be. It shouldn't be taken so seriously. It should be approached like a video game and rank goals and having everyone involved. I love how you say that, because that's how it should be.
Totally. And I mean, I want to manage expectations because not everyone has a spouse that's going to lean in as much, but you know, I think if they can get inspired and
or even if you see, what I like to say is when you have shortcomings, find, like you said, when you found me, like we get to find partners that fill certain qualities that we may wish to have. So I love that we're all pieces of a puzzle. So even if you don't have a spouse, find a friend that you want to run with, or find a family member, maybe in your distant family. You never know. I mean, like there's always someone that is, you know, that would love to be running this business with you. So I think we just have to find a running mate.
And consistency, right? You were mentioning that.
Mm-hmm. Oh yes, that's that's definitely the key to success. People who've been following us, they said no maybe 3 years ago, 4 years ago, right? But they've been following us, and they're saying now, they come and we get messages all the time of people. I didn't even know they were following me, but they're like, we've been watching you for 3 years now, or 4 years, and okay, we're ready, because whatever you're talking about, you're extremely passionate. I don't even know what it is, but I want it.
Yeah, it's not a gimmick. It's not a diet. This is real. It works. And, you know, we're helping thousands and thousands of people.
They see the proof. I mean, they see it. So if you're consistent with anything, you're going to become a master at it. And so when we're consistent with these foods and also sharing it, we become like, we're constantly improving our health, but we're also improving on ways that we don't even realize. When we look back at our old video, it's like, wow, we've come so far, but we don't even see, just because we're doing a little bit every day. It's just so important to become a master, just to do a little bit every day.
And I love how you say that. And people are watching, right? This is what people don't understand, that being consistent is the key here. Because if you just try something for a couple months, even a year, I mean, people are still watching. Some people watch to see if you're going to give up, and some people are watching to see is this couple, how is she changing? How is he changing? And now they want to jump on board and they don't even know what it is.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I'm telling you, thank goodness I never gave up, because I have people from, like, for instance, an event we did 3 years ago, like showing Game Changers movie somewhere. Like, we just did this event, like it was like 3.5 years ago. I just had someone this week contact me, and luckily I never gave up, because she was ready to order a ULT, and it's just like amazing, like the power if you just say it, and you're going to kick yourself. If anyone gives up, you're going to have people years from now being like, okay, I'm ready to go. And you'll miss out on that.
Yeah, it's the major reason why, people might look at the income disclosure and be like, oh, but it looks like not a lot of people are successful with this. But it's because it's so accessible. It's free to join. The business is free. So
a lot of people give up. And that's the sad thing, is that brings down, that looks like there's a lot of people who are not making money, but it's just because they give up. And then we see anyone who doesn't give up, who stays the course, absolutely becomes successful.
Yeah. Rule number 1, don't give up.
Great point. And I remember there was something that Jared said that really shifted your vision. Do you want to talk about that? About the inbound call center?
Yes. Okay. So this is before Jared even got on board. He just, he was wanting me to be successful. And he just said, just visualize yourself as an inbound call center. And he told me that a few times, and it really sunk in. And I found myself really just, as like everything I put out there, I imagine, why are people coming to me? Like, I'm putting that out there so that, we're putting out stuff that's going to bring people in.
Yeah. When you offer something of value, it will attract, there's
intrigue and, different ways of putting ourselves out there, that with the mindset that people are coming to us.
Yeah.
And I know that was such a monumental time, that when he said that is what attraction marketing is, right? You start opening everything, and then everyone they wanted to know what you had, what you were doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's all mindset. You have to have that mindset.
So what are some key things you did for mindset?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot of, so switching language, the words that we say and the words in our head, right? They really matter. And I started to really pay attention to that. So I used to say things like, I'll try. And I remember Eric once, I think it was Eric, he was like, or maybe it was you, I don't know. Someone pointed out that I said try, and I'd never even noticed that. And I was like, oh my goodness. Okay. I started noticing that. And then, instead of, when the feelings even came up, like, if someone, I used to compare myself to a lot of the successful people. And instead of saying like, oh, I don't want to like look at them because like I'm jealous, or, that those kind of feelings came up, I said, I'm inspired, like I had to switch my mindset in little ways all the time. And if I say something's hard, I know I have to switch my mindset to it's easy, and find, like, just always daily finding ways to talk, to change my language.
Mm-hmm. And that kind of mindset, it goes beyond just growing this business. It's helped us in our relationship, with our kids. Really, everything benefits from you
not focusing on the negative, like focusing on the positive.
And it's not to say like we get like the toxic positivity people who think it's like you can't be positive all the time. But here we are, just like growing, and it's like, how could you not want that?
No, but it's not about that. It's about we have a choice to look at everything in a way that's going to help us to manifest it, or in a way that's going to, attract the opposite. So It's not about any kind of like fake positivity. It's about using positive, mindset to attract what we want.
Yeah.
And being more gentle with yourself. Would you agree?
Absolutely. We really, we definitely, I used to be really hard on myself, and I've learned a lot that energy is only going to bring more, like shame is the lowest vibration. And, we forgive ourselves if we mess up. We are not hard on ourselves now, because we know it's just a journey. And that's also why we're giving permission to all of our teammates to just like mess up, fail forward. It's okay. Like you will survive, and you'll be grateful for all the mistakes that you make along the way.
It's so beautiful to see you two grow and to hear how, on Leslie Zan's call, she'll always talk about, fail forward and everything, but you guys actually do it. You do it, and you do it with so beautiful. You do it so beautiful and so graceful, and it's very inspiring. And now, like I would say, we're one of the biggest teams in Purium and the biggest team in Canada, and you guys are hosting our first convention in Canada. Super exciting.
Yes, we're so excited to see everyone. Our Canadian team inspires us so much. We have people on our team who don't even speak a word of English, and they're crushing it. Okay, so it really inspires us to new levels. And it's super inspiring. Go Team Canada. So proud of everyone.
Beautiful. So I know we have so many questions. So I want to open it up to the field. So if you guys have any question for Allison and Jared, just raise your hand and I will unmute you and you can ask them now.
All right.
You guys are amazing. And it's so beautiful to see the journey, because this is what it's all about. And the consistency. People give up way too easy, way too fast as well.
Okay, we got a question from Lisa, how to do a healthy happy hour. Okay, so I love healthy happy hours. Once you start to do them, you realize it is so easy. All you need to have is, don't overcomplicate it. You need to have green juice. We love to use Power Shake. Most people love that. And can't beat this. Usually those are our two go-tos. But of course you can have whatever ones you want to sample out with people. But we love to do sample sizes, little paper cups, and put out maybe a few, flex foods. And we let people graze and try the foods. And then we love to just share how we got into this, our story, and have people ask questions. We just do it in different places. We've done it now in so many different scenes, and it's really just it's super easy. As long as you have water, ice, and some superfoods, you're good.
Beautiful. Okay, so how did you build your customer base while traveling? Did you sell to people in the US or where you were visiting?
Yeah, mostly actually in the US, because Belize, I know Central America has a lot of, you can't really ship there. So we were all online, and, dealing mostly with people in the US and Canada and Europe as well. We have a huge thriving market in Europe. And, we just kept, the same way you would keep up with your customers, we just have them all on our phone, and we just, give the customer service that we want to share. We want to give great customer service, so people come back and they love working with us, and that's what we do.
Beautiful. Anyone else? Is there any questions I missed? And when you planned healthy happy hours, did you make it overcomplicated? Because I know so many people would say, okay, I have to go get the Purium banner, I have to get this, I have to get that. What was the plan leading up to it?
Yeah, so the one that we did in Belize, for instance, super bare bones. We just put out some flex foods, and we gave people some Power Shake and Can't Beat This to try. And we just gave our presentation. So just sharing our story, sharing about, we shared actually a little video from Dave, and that's all. this is the very beginning. We didn't have a lot of knowledge about everything. So we let the videos do the talking, and we just shared our own personal experience.
I recommend bringing a laptop to share videos, and people are going to want to order right away. So the laptop's great for that.
Which video? I think we shared maybe the biomedic video about glyphosate.
The farm to family.
Yeah, I can't remember now exactly which one, but we use different depending on who we're talking to.
Right. So that matters, right? So depending on who's your audience, you just pivot which video you would show.
Yeah, like I'd show a fitness trainer. Like let's say I was doing it at a gym, I would show something around the performance pack. And then if we were, just depending.
Okay, we have a question from Camille. How long did it take you to hit crown?
Well, we started in 2018.
She's frozen, so I don't know if we're frozen.
Sorry, Taz. Can you see us? Why is it so buggy? Hey, sorry, we're back.
So, how soon did you hit crown, and when did you have your business breakthrough?
Okay. It took us, we enrolled October of 2018, and we only hit crown 2 months ago. So I would say it took us almost, it took us 3.5 years. And I want to say we were not fast in this business. We went, I think we were stuck at a director until 1.5 years in, and we'd only caught the vision at 2020 that we were really going to go for diamond. So all of this is like slow. We didn't, do it fast. Now we're helping people go way faster. So we definitely took our time.
But that's beautiful how you say that, because you went whatever pace you need to, right, for your journey. But you are helping so many people go fast and see the vision before they can ever imagine.
Yeah, exactly. It's perfect.
And the bonus incentive of a matching fast start bonus is incredible. So even though we didn't go fast, we can help someone go fast, and we'll get the same bonus that they do. So the incentive is incredible, and it just duplicates.
We made it a point to learn the fast start, even though we didn't do it ourselves. We made it a point to learn it so we can help others.
Love that. So Kat's asking, did you see the vision of creating a sustainable business when you first joined Purium?
Well, I'm a big vision person. Jared didn't see it at first, but I saw it. Like, I was like, I go big, like in my mind, I'm a big dreamer. And I just saw, I was like, oh, we need this when I saw my transformation, I was like, every person needs this. So it was a non-negotiable in my head that I will reach every person eventually. And I also hold the vision that this will be in every household in America, all over North America and Europe. So I hold that vision. That means we still have a few billion people to get to. And this is, absolutely, I'm so excited that we just began. We just are just the very beginning.
For me, it was when we got a first taste of passive income, what that felt like to wake up to, volume without having really done anything. So my whole life I was trading hours for dollars, like working on a contract or whatever. It was very linear, but here it was like, okay, we're putting in this time, but now it's like compounding. And
you put in a lot more than you would normally work for the amount of, like, you can't put money, like it's like a whole new framework. The 4-year career really helped that perspective for us, actually.
Yeah, read that book or listen to 4-year career. Incredibly inspiring, for mindset.
And I love, Allison, how you would always tell Jared, you're like, well, I'm doing this with or without you.
Yeah, and that's how I kind of treat this, for everyone in my life I'm like, I'm doing this with or without you. And it's been amazing. Finally, people just come on board.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So what advice do you have for someone? So, I know also during the pandemic, you guys were able to go to LA to travel with the family as well, right? Not only Belize.
Yes. Well, that was awesome. We were able to again buy a one-way ticket without having a return. and just fly by the seat of our pants. And, you know, everything works out when we trust and we're in alignment. I'm telling you, these things seem scary before you do it, but once you're in motion, it's just like everything just lined up perfectly. So our kids got into programs that, you know, that just took them to new levels in their own academic and passion career, like their own journeys, and everything worked out. You know, we were able to stay for 8 months. We went thinking we're just going to stay maybe 3 months, and we just went for 8 months because the journey just kept taking us to new places, meeting new people, and we had that flexibility, and it was just incredible.
Yeah, a lot of people talk the talk in terms of time freedom and financial freedom. Here we were walking the walk, where we're like, we're going to go prove it to ourselves and to our family, our friends, and our surroundings that we could do this. We could live wherever we want. We could be with our kids every day if we want to, and just like live that life and teach people how to do it too.
And you certainly are. So I'm so proud of both you. Thank you for doing everything that you're doing. Thank you for all the work that you're putting in and sharing and having so much passion. And you guys, you're on your way to 2-star crown soon. I know it's happening.
Thank you so
Yes,
much.
it is. Yes, yes.
Hopefully this month, we'll see.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Taz, and the Million Mom Movement. We are so grateful for what you're doing, opening people's eyes and just fighting the good fight.
Yeah, we're so grateful for your carefrontation and for saying it like it is, because we would not have known. So thank you so much, Taz. We're grateful every day.
We're grateful.
And Leo too.
Yeah, thank you. You know, couples that do this together, it amplifies what we do. Because if our spouse or our partners want to do this with us or without us, we have to show them that we are going to do it. So it's up to them if they want to jump on board or not, right?
Yes. They don't want to miss out on that sharing pool.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Love you both.
Thank you.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. Thank you for watching.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So,
Love you.
So Naima, I'm going to
Bye,
pass it back to you. And we are going to talk a little bit about our call to action for this week.
Thank you so much, Taz. Amazing interview. Thank you, Jared and Allison. Incredible story. And I just want to share my screen again real quick with you all. And first, I'm going to take us to our Million Mom Movement page. And I want to show you guys something really exciting that we're going to start doing. So everybody asks me every week, where's the events? What's coming up next? So we have 2 ways you can find them. The link in the bio on Instagram has our Million Mom Movement events calendar. And then also right here under more, and then you go to events, and this will take you to our events page. So I'm gonna go ahead and click this because my internet's slightly slow. And you'll see here we have all of our events for August already up on Facebook. So if you want to invite people to our Facebook events, this is where you can find them. This is where you can get the links and share them. And I will be sharing the link to our next one here in just a minute, but I want to show you where to find that because I get this question all the time. Now let's go to our call to action. So we've been doing this call to action for the past month now, where we want you to go to Instagram. I had the page pulled up, but it disappeared on me. So we want you to go to Great Value. Number 3, the chickpeas. We want you to go to Great Value. It's a Walmart brand, and they contain high amounts of glyphosate in all of their foods. You can see here we have chickpeas. We also have 100% whole wheat bread. And if we scroll down this list, we have another brand, another chickpeas that's also from Great Value, and many others as well. There's black beans, wheat bread, as well as the whole wheat bread. So we know that this Great Value brand is in Walmart, and it's in a lot of big box stores like that, where you can get this low quality food. And it's also it's contaminated with a lot of glyphosate. So we want to do a call to action and go ask Great Value if they are aware that there's glyphosate in the ingredients that they're providing people. Now I went to their page. They don't have a lot of posts, and they only have a couple posts with like breads or cookies or crackers. And so the suggestion is to go to any of their posts on their page and just say, hey, if you want to call them out on any of these specific things that have glyphosate in it, you can say, I just found out that your 100% whole wheat bread contains this glyphosate that causes cancer. I'm concerned about it. What are you doing about this? And then to take this a step further, if they respond to you, take a screenshot of your question and their response and share it in your stories and tag that account to bring even more awareness to your community about what we're doing and how we are taking this action to actually try to help these companies become more aware of the toxic ingredients in their food. So please go to True Value, leave them a comment, ask them if they're aware of this, and let's take action today. So I'll see you all next week. I'm going to drop the link to this week's Fierce Friday. Taz, you want to go ahead and tell us what it is, or you want me to?
Absolutely. Yes, I can go ahead. So this week, next week on Fierce Friday, we are doing part 2 to the greenwashing, and we are going to dive deep into supplements. So this is something we get asked all the time. Which supplements are greenwashed? So we are going to dive deep in this topic. So next week, all about greenwashing supplements. So thank you all for being on today's call. And remember to respond to the person who invited you to this call, right? Connect with them and ask them, how can I join this movement? Because the more we do this together, this is how we grow. Thank you all. See you next week.